Hi everyone, Menachem Brodie here with you once again from Human Vortex Training, your certified and experienced USA Cycling expert level coach and strength and conditioning coach, here today to talk about analyzing your Mean Maximal Power Curve. What is MMP and why is this something that you should be paying attention to at least on a bi-monthly basis, twice a month? The MMP is a representation of a graph. It is a line graph for each of our energy systems. What this does is allow us to understand if your training is effective and getting the responses that we're looking for each of the physiological energy systems that we're trying to target. Most of the changes on the Mean Maximal Power Curve are going to occur between 0 seconds and 30 minutes. Why is this where we're going to see most of the changes? Is because that's where most of the training is going to occur. While some higher level riders, Cat 2, Cat 1, professional riders may do threshold efforts longer than an hour. For most of us, even domestic, let's say Cat 1s, we might get our training in around 30-minute intervals. That's what we can fit in, and that's what we need to optimize our training. One thing to remember as we go through this is that training is optimal when you do the least amount of work in order to acquire the necessary changes. Let me say that again. Training is optimal when you get the least amount of work done to attain the necessary changes. That is why the mantra here at Human Vortex Training from day one has been train smarter, not harder, and it is all about you. Train smarter, we don't need to go and kill ourselves. If you can win the race having done 3 by 10-minute steady state intervals, why would we do 15? We want to train with just the amount of work to get you to your goal and a little bit past what you'll need in order to just crush everybody. So, how do we use the MMP to do this? Every 2 weeks, we're going to take a look at the Mean Maximal Power Curve to see, is that curve moving up and to the right just a little bit, where we're having more power. So we want to push that curve up and to the right, showing that we have more power over that time period. What's great about the MMP is that you're actually able to compare 2 to 3 different time periods. So you can compare year to year, month to month, week to week, 3 months to 3 months, and you can actually see, is my training this year at this time better than what it was doing last year if you're aiming for the same type of adaptations, or going back through all of your training logs in the WKO, you can see, is this training I'm doing now as effective or more effective than what I've done in the past for similar energy system results. So the Mean Maximal Power Curve is vastly underutilized, in my opinion, for a lot of riders. They just kind of see it as a screen on their home screen. They're like, oh, it's another graph, cool, okay, I don't know what that means, one's dotted, one's solid, whatever. But if you start to learn how to read it, it's actually one of the most important screens on your home screen for your WKO. This allows us to really see what's going well for you and do we need to change the approach. So why do I say every 2 weeks? If you look at it more than 2 weeks, it can drive you crazy. I, as a coach, will look at it after every other ride that a rider does, especially for the Gold and the New Me coaching program athletes that I have individually. I'll look at it after every single ride and compare it. Every 2 weeks, though, I do a really major assessment. Is this training plan working for this athlete for where they are right now with what they're able to do? And we do a hard analysis every 2 weeks. Is this working? Yes, great, keep going. Can we refine it to be even better? If so, yes, make that one small change that'll get us better results. If this is not working after 2 weeks, okay, let's change the game plan, let's try something else. Talk to the rider, we'll do an interview on the phone, or we'll talk on Skype, figure out what is and isn't working. Maybe it's recovery, maybe it's nutrition, maybe you're not sleeping well because you have a big thing at work going on. We talk, we figure out what's not working, we change it, and we get back on pace. You can do this as well with the Mean Maximal Power Curve. You can look every 2 weeks and say, my goal for the next 4 weeks is to raise my VO2 max from 3 to 4 minutes. After a ride, you can look and see, okay, look at that bumped up, and you'll know after one ride, that's a new number, that's the best number I've ever seen for 3.5 minutes. After 2 weeks, you'll look and you should see that the target area for your training is bumping up. And this isn't to say you can only target one thing. You want to try and target one energy system at a time. In early riders or beginner riders, for more advanced riders, we may be able to challenge, let's say, neuromuscular power and endurance, because those two things don't clash. We won't really get into that because that's pretty high level coaching stuff, but just keep in mind to focus on the main thing and to keep the main thing the main thing. So the Mean Maximal Power Curve is a timed representation of 0 to however your longest ride is for what your average power or highest power is for that time period. And over time through your riding and training, you should see changes in your fitness. Sprinters are going to be more up and to the left. Let's say VO2 max or crit riders are going to be more towards the middle, and then those who are time trialists may be more out till 20 to 60 minutes, seeing that power come up as long as your training is mimicking or going into that realm. So this is a great way, an easy way to measure your progress and to make sure your training is on point. So until next time, remember, train smarter, not harder, and it is all about you.